I gotta say, showing the history lesson in the shadows on the wall was a great animation trick. I hope they do more stuff like that in the future, because that was awesome. So Sabine doesn't want to be in charge of an army. As is obvious, this is a very character-centric episode, very much focused on Sabine and her internal struggle. I love the way Kanan puts it. She's so Mandalorian, God! It's true, though. She is very Mandalorian. Not in the prototypical way, the honor kind of a way. No, but her mentality is exceptionally Mandalorian. The way that she constantly just kind of pushes away from all of this and locks away emotionally and tries to focus instead on action and result. Very Mandalorian. She even is irritated at having to learn this fighting thing. And in fact, she's like, yeah, no, I could take you, and just absolutely gets crushed by Kanan. Of course she does. Kanan fights with a sword regularly against very dangerous opponents, and he usually uses a blade that can kill him if it goes the wrong way. This is one of his main concerns, actually. As he says, she will hurt herself with that blade. But as Hera, who of course is the one who pays attention to the personality and characteristics of everyone, says, she's already hurt. I do kind of like how Ezra sort of has something to hold over Sabine. For once, this is probably the only time there's something he's better at than she is, so he can, like, feel a little more confident about himself. But you'll notice he still reaches out to her. He's still easy on her in the fights. He still helps her. And, of course, when she runs off hurt and exhausted and just emotionally drained, he still tries to reach out to her. Then she starts... This is actually interesting. It's a nice little tidbit. Jedi focus a little bit... They lean too much on the Force. I've said that for years. And I've always said that's one of the big weak points of the Jedi. KOTOR 2 discussed this at length. But the thing is, Kanan doesn't. Kanan and Ezra both, actually, are far more malleable in how they can use their skills completely outside of the Force because, well, Ezra has only relatively recently gotten into using it, and Kanan was used to not using it specifically to keep hidden. So both of them developed other skills. Now that's relevant, because I have a feeling that Sabine, if she tried to go up against a Force user who leaned on the Force, she might be able to actually defeat that Jedi. But not Kanan or Ezra. And this is really shown when she decides to cheat with the wrist things, like, ha-ha, I can totally win this. And then she decides to, in anger, go after Kanan. And she's winning right up until the moment Kanan stops screwing around. Pulls out his actual lightsaber and subdues her within seconds. Because he's trying to emphasize the severity of this. Your tricks will work for a time, but what you need long-term is actual training. At least that's what he thinks. In truth, while I do agree that she does need actual training, the hard reality is what she really, really needs is to actually be herself. Wow, I'm actually tearing up just a little bit because I know how hard that can be. I'm sure a lot of you do too. I like how they both apologize to each other when she comes back. Nice touch. It would be easier for that to be melodrama or artificial drama, but instead, no, I'm sorry. And then he starts calling out the blocks. Now that makes sense. High, middle, low, 3. And then he starts doing just the numbers. He starts doing the numbers very quickly. What I love is how he just starts hammering her emotionally. You're a traitor. You left. You fled. That's what they think. Huh? What's the truth then? And she just absolutely overwhelms on him and just rages on him because all of those feelings and all of those thoughts that she's been keeping locked away behind her Mandalorian mentality are finally erupting. I did all of this for my people. I built weapons that the enemy used to subjugate my people. Imagine the shame. And she just unloads all that shame, all that fear, all that anger, just pours out of her. And that allows her to be more in connection with who and what she is, which is what this was all about to begin with. Combat training? It's a nice bonus. But this is about her being in the right mindset, well, to do what's going to happen next episode.